What are you doing now, Craig? You are coaching?
Right now, I'm doing a lot of writing. I'm sitting here, you know, everybody in the whole world is under this COVID thing, man. So, you know, just sitting, researching, writing, and like I said, you know, maintaining the space that we need to stay safe. But at the same time, putting together plans. I have my book is being done into a documentary and feature film. So it's a lot of stuff on the horizon like that, and as well as just training young student athletes here how to play the game properly.
So, but you are coaching?
No, I'm not coaching right now.
Watch Rodman come across, and this is where the contact is made, the high-flying footing knee, catch him right about.
Hodges is hurting. A 20-second timeout is called here. I don't know what happened to him.
Craig no solo se entregó en cuerpo y alma al básquet. Paralelamente, como todos ya sabemos, luchó en contra del racismo sistémico, la brutalidad policial y la igualdad de oportunidades entre todos los estadounidenses. Activismo que acabó con su carrera en la NBA y casi con su vida.
Biggest thing now is social media, man. You know, the ability to put your message out worldwide, like the fact that you and I are speaking, you're in Spain, and I don't know what part of Spain you're in, but I'm in Tucson, Arizona. So the fact that you can get your message out so readily and have an instantaneous following is a big difference. In the 80s and 90s, basically everything was controlled by the media, and the media was basically in bed with the ownership as far as with the management of teams and the like, because if you wanted to get in someone's locker room, you wouldn't write a bad article about them. So it's one of those things where now a player can go on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and let people know exactly what's going on. And that's the biggest difference. But also during that period of time, it was a transition, man. You know, in the early 70s, there were a lot of athletes who were in the NBA who were conscious, and they were standing on issues coming out of the 68 Olympics. So you had a certain amount of activism and consciousness that was going on. But the league was probably 85 to 90% black. So the ownership realized that in order to get people in the stands, you had to, integrate this thing. And it was a perfect combination in 1979 when Magic and Larry Bird played in the NCAA finals. And they both got drafted, one to the West Coast with the Lakers and the other to the East Coast with the Celtics, both with dynasty type, histories. And it was able to pit a battle of almost good and evil, black and white in the sports realm. And it took some of the issues away. And it was a thing where athletes didn't really say anything because they were trying to make their money. And now I think with the advent of Black Lives Matters, people around the world seeing the oppression that's going on, not only in America, but around the world. People are having it's a different day, man. It's a different vibration. It's a different spirit. And I just feel blessed to see, athletes can stand on their principles and not be afraid of losing their careers or their money because of it. About it. And I think the biggest thing, like you say, is that, being able to see just how the time is going, man, and that, myself, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who stood on principles and was a great player, was basically his career was cut short because he felt he wanted to speak on principle. And now you see athletes who are able to speak on principle and continue to make their money, which is good, because I think the biggest part is that we have to become more connected to the community. We have to be more connected to, what our power and our platform can bring to people who are not as fortunate as ourselves, and be able to stand on it forthrightly, man. So it's a good time. I feel like it's a good time not only in athletics, but it's a good time where people all over the globe are feeling a certain way about life in general, and it's not about money so much. I was blessed to have a different upbringing, have a different support base. That, you know, me being able to shoot the basketball is one thing, but me having to stand on principle is another. So it would be fun to see where I would fit today. You know, it would be fun to see to shoot against Steph Curry.
Come to see this man.
I would say it's very safe to say.
In both of our primes.
Number 25 is the record.
You know, I had a chance to shoot against his dad in three-point contest. But for me, it's one of those things where the game is in cycles, man. You know, when I came in the game, it was about inside out, throwing the ball into the big man and move off of the big man. And if you get a three-point shot, I might have shot. You know, I look at one night I was watching a Portland game and I seen one of the guys shoot like 15 threes in a game. And I was looking back and I was like, man, it would have probably, the way we played in the 80s and 90s, it would have probably taken me about almost a week and a half to get up 15 three-point shots. Probably about 4 or 5 games, man, because we shot them in a practical manner that it was maybe a team might take 8 3-pointers in a game, you know, and me being the 3-point shooter, I might get 4. And in a game where I got up a lot, I would get up 6. So it's like now the analytics have taken the game over with the 3-point shot. You have 7-footers taking 3-point shots. So it's one of those things where, like I said, it goes in cycles. And right now the game is basically treading off of what Golden State was able to do. You know, but once again, Golden State had a complement of players that could do that. Not everybody has that complement of players. So when I look at the 76ers and Joel Embiid is pulling up from 3, that kind of bothers me. Funny to me because I know, you know, it's one of those things. My last game, I was 32 years of age and I was in great shape. So it's one of those things for me, I would have loved to have been able to play another 5 years and just been able to just play freely and not have to worry about trying to win a championship. I had 2 championships at the time, so now it was time to go and play in freedom mode. But at the same time, I understand history, man. When you stand on principles, when I look back at 1968, John Carlos and Tommy Smith, what they did at the Olympics, and then when they came back home, they couldn't get a chance to do anything, basically. So I realized, you know, once I realized what was going on, I looked back over history and realized that I was part and parcel of a group of people who stood on principle and didn't really worry about so much their careers, but they were more concerned about what was going on with the planet and people, man. And I think it's a certain support base, I think, that lends itself to that. How you were raised, your environmental conditions, your education, your mentors who taught you and mentored you in things about life. So for me, I was blessed to have great mentorship in both basketball and principles. And that's the thing that, to me, to this day, and seeing where we are now, seeing that I'm talking to you in Spain about my book and basketball is a blessing, man. And it's something that, you know, I was just sitting before you called, just thinking about going back when I was 8 years old, thinking about playing games and where will I be when I get 25 and, you know, what would all of that kind of stuff. But now to see how, you know, when you go to life, and with the young people that are watching, you know, realizing that life is about being a student. You know, regardless to how old you may become, you still have to continue to learn and grow. And how impatient we can be as young folks. And now as an elder, at 60 years old, I see how important the process is, man, and letting the process mold you into what you're capable of being and not trying to press the process, not trying to go too fast, but you can't be too slow either.
Craig fue un jugador bajito y delgado para la posición que verdaderamente definía su juego, la de escolta. Tampoco destacaba por sus condiciones físicas, como él mismo reconoce, a duras penas machacaba. Entonces, ¿cómo pudo jugar durante una década en la durísima NBA de los 80 y 90 y, además, ganar 2 campeonatos? La respuesta: trabajo, confianza en sí mismo, conocimiento del juego, concentración.